Jealousy. So this will be the topic of today's video, and by using the capabilities of my mind, trying to get a deeper understanding of the topic and maybe even reality itself. Jealousy. Yes. The yellow flavored emotion. Why? Good question. Maybe I will discuss this a little bit later. But for now, it could be that it triggered something in you. You're instantly jealous. Maybe a person comes up that you're jealous about. Or you think of yourself of not being jealous at all, which is a sad thing, I would argue. Because there's no such thing as a person that is not jealous. You're just repressing it in yourself. So, because these are essential emotions and an essential part of the human experience, and it's the same with being angry or sad, or even things like truth, I would argue, or expression of yourself. There's no way that you are not experiencing this. The only thing that is possible is you are suppressing it so deeply that you now believe yourself that it's not a part of you. But you are not even realizing that from the outside how obvious it is that you are very jealous still. And yet, specifically now for jealousy, I think it has a great value to everything that we depict as negative emotions. There is a great value in it because it's there. So it must have a deep purpose. Now, again, you could argue from different perspectives. If you go these evolutionary scientific explanation, you would come to the conclusion, because the feeling is there must be a very, very deep biological and then natural selective reason that it exists. So now we could go into details. Or if you're just more the spiritual person, or you believe in we are just divinely created and that's it, the creator, if you believe that, or the forces of creation itself are, I think, by definition perfect, so they don't make mistakes. So, because it's there, must be a good reason for it. If it was thought up by a supreme intelligence, then they probably had a good reason to put it into you. So you see from both directions, the scientific one or the more spiritual, religious, divine one, whatever, we come to the same conclusion. There must be a reason why you are jealous sometimes, or why you're suppressing it. So I would argue jealousy is maybe or definitely one of the best indicators of what you actually want in life. So it's a beautiful thing. It's like a sign of direction for you. Maybe there is this girl that is so beautiful and so kind, maybe even, and you're so jealous about her because she is so beautiful. Isn't that nice for you now? Because now you know what you want. You want to become more beautiful, so you can work on that. Or maybe there's this guy who is so successful, maybe successful in his job, maybe successful with women, who knows, and you're jealous of him. Great. Now you know what you want. And it can be even more and more specific, because, for example, me, I actually for a long time thought I'm not jealous at all. I thought like, no, it's just not a part of you. I could not understand the concept because I was thinking, you're living your own life, so why should I be jealous about anybody? Because they're not me. And there's this nice thing I once heard, this: you're just jealous of them because you don't know the story. Because if you want a specific thing of anyone or anybody, whatever, you also have to go through the path that they went to achieve a certain thing. So this is one way to seeing it. Yeah, you only see the success, the wealth, but you don't see all the suffering which lead to that. For example, but again, back to myself in this case. I now use myself as an example. Then at one point I realized, okay, yeah, I'm tricking myself. That's not true. I have still things I'm jealous of and people I'm jealous of. And one example comes up in my mind is in last year, there were the Olympic Games in Paris. And there's this one athlete, I think he's called Duplate or something, a Swedish guy. And he was doing the high jumping with the staff and breaking the world record. Yes, and he did it several times already. He gets a lot of money doing that. Actually, it's quite a thing to do. And the whole stadium was cheering him, and he's a good-looking guy. And after he broke the world record, he went to his Swedish girlfriend, who was absolutely stunningly beautiful, and passionately kissed her in front of the camera. And then I realized, oh wow, okay, there's some jealousy in you, because how amazing is that? From my perspective, as a young guy, he has many things maybe that I don't have. The love of the people, great success in what he's doing. He's the best of the world, maybe the best who ever been actually in his sport. And he has an unbelievable, beautiful, attractive girlfriend who, like it seemed, loves him very deeply. And maybe now I see these are things that I want. Not specifically, I probably don't want to be the best high jumper, but that's not what it's about. It's about the symbolism around it and the archetype that he incorporates actually, becoming like the supreme in some things, better than anybody has ever been. It seems like this is something that I want to achieve in my own life. Now I know more about myself suddenly because I allowed this jealousy to flow through me and be jealous about this great guy. Blessed be he, by the way. If I talk about him here already. So now I understand myself a little deeper, that what I want in this life. For now, because of course this will change. When I get older, and maybe I have some of these things, or maybe I followed on the path and realized, it's not really what I want, and it will change, and then I will be jealous of someone else. Maybe I will be jealous of someone, who knows, who's a great father, or who has built a great business, or whatever. And it's the same with you. You have to see who you are really jealous about. And of course, it can be some like semi-real figure, because the guy for me is only semi-real, and not that he doesn't exist, no, of course. Theoretically I could meet him, but it's not that I've met him. It's not that he's a friend or a part of my family, so I never really met him. He doesn't know that I exist. Just keep it like this, for simplicity. So this is a half realness to it. I know about his existence, but vice versa, no. So, and there's a difference, because then also you have these people that you will be jealous about that are actually a part of life, of your own life, so they know that you exist, like your friends or families or whatever, or your enemies. Probably often this goes more in this direction, because it implies something negative about you, some sort of hatred is connected with jealousy, because what is it actually that this feeling is implying? That this yellow jealousy, that is it I think what you are experiencing there, feeling there, is it should have been me, not him or not her, that has this great thing that you want. Because you deserve it more, because maybe you believe you're the better person to have that thing. So it's also connected with a sense of superiority actually, and at the same time inferiority, Yes, so you're feeling superior and inferior at the same time, huh? Because you don't have the thing, but also you believe you deserve it more than the person that has it. Isn't that interesting? Huh? Isn't that funny? And then you could even argue this is spinning around now, this energy, huh? Inferiority and superiority, and nothing, both of them are wrong, obviously, and that's why they're spinning and creating this vortex of emotion, and this is why you're experiencing this feeling. This would be one way to explain. This is a way to explain the concept of the chakra energies. Actually, this is an ancient concept. I think it derives from ancient Hinduistic texts, as far as I know. And what they believe there is that there are 7 main chakras, so these are like energy centers or vortexes, like I explained right now, and they are deeply connected to core emotions of yourself, and also obviously then a core experience of your life. And you see, this is just another concept I'm using now, because I used the concept of evolutionary theory. I use the concept of divine creation. I'm now using this concept of these energy vortexes or centers. These are called the chakras and stuff. And it goes down here. And what is important to understand, what I'm doing here, it's not about if I believe that this is true or not, or if you, or even more important, if you believe it's true or not. These are just concepts. Like humanity, in some way or another, some people and then groups of people came up with it and started to believe in it. So these concepts are a part of the human consciousness. This is undeniable, because there are many people in these 3 examples that believe it's true. And you could also then, of course, with all of these concepts that I mentioned here, you can deeply explain them. You go in more and more and more detail why you believe it's true and all the indications that point to it. This is the one way. And the other way is, this is why you're going to the past here, why you think this is valid. And the other thing is you can make predictions out of it. These are the 2, in my experience, the 2 ways of validating a concept and an idea. And one is how can you explain why it's true, and the other is can you make valid predictions for the future with it. So if you use this now, what I said, all this what I'm explaining here, it's just thinking about ideas, and now you apply it to your own life. And if you can make valid prediction out of it, if you use it, and suddenly, you realize, wow, that's actually the truth, or it improves my life, then I think it's a valid concept. And then you could integrate it into your belief system, what you believe about reality in this case. That's the way I do it for a very, very long time. I'm observing these concepts, I'm trying them out for myself, trying to understand them. How did people come up with them? Why do they believe that this is a real thing? And then trying to integrate it into my belief system and see how it changes my life. And you can do this with all the concepts, actually. Yes. And then you can change it all the time. Then sometimes try to forget about it. This is one way. You used to believe in a concept, or you still do. For example, evolution. And then this is a very, very, very difficult exercise, actually. And I think very, very few people are capable of it. You probably are not. I think your mind is not strong enough. And this is, you forget about these core belief systems. Yeah, if you really believed in evolution your whole life, try not to anymore. It's extremely difficult, because it's so deeply rooted in your identity too, and you're losing a part of yourself, and probably you're too afraid of doing that. Yeah, see, you're a coward. You're afraid of that, and me too, by the way. It's these core concepts. It's very, very difficult to change them, but I'm starting to do that sometimes. But you fall back often. Yeah, and then you can come back later. This is the beautiful thing about it, huh? Now you drop this evolution, or you can go the other way too, of course. You drop this divine creation thing and then believe for evolution and the scientific thing for a while, huh? And really forget about it. Forget about all the gods or your god, whoever, whatever you believe in. Forget about it for a while and go more this natural or this scientific belief system. Try that out for a while. See how it changes your life. Yes, if you can. It's very difficult to do that. And then if you're realizing, nah, this is not an improvement. It doesn't make my life more beautiful or more abundant, or it doesn't give me more joy or happiness or love or freedom. Drop it again. Go back to your old belief. And maybe in the process of doing it, you're coming up with something that is even transcendent of both things. I already talked about this, I think, in another video, that you can combine these two ideas actually, and they can exist simultaneously in your belief system, because this is what counts in the end. And yes, then maybe you're coming up with something that is uniquely yours. Who knows? And then people will be jealous about you because, yeah, wow, you have such deep beliefs, or you have such a sophisticated way of going through life, or maybe you even achieved a great sense of inner peace and self-love, acceptance, or general love, and freedom. Yes, and then people will be jealous about you, and then the jealousy is not inside of you, but it's outside in the world suddenly. Yeah, this is also something, I think. I think if you suppress it, it goes deeper and deeper inside of you, then yeah, people will see you maybe as pathetic at one point, because you don't even know who you are. But the more you accept it and let it swirl out and into the world, and suddenly you get direction, because now you realize what you really want deep down in your heart. And then you're following through actually on this, because this is one thing to see what you want and another to get it actually, to take it and make it yours. And then you are the one, it's outside, that people are jealous of, and then they see you as this bright shining star. And then you have all these haters that want to take it away from you because they believe they deserve it more. And the wheel keeps spinning. Alright, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have something to add, feel free to write something down in the comments. And if you want to see more of this, what I'm doing here, then you can subscribe, and there will be more in the future.